Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing out there? Okay, first of all, when I set this up this morning, StreamYard offered me this vertical or horizontal or both option. And by the horizontal thing, they said recommended. I don't know anything about this, but what I was assuming is it gives the viewer the option of watching like on their phone horizontal or on their computer vertical. If that is driving you nuts, I don't know how to undo it at this point. There were two screens when I signed on, and I got rid of the vertical one. So maybe you can do that so you don't have two screens going at once wherever you're looking. I honestly did a sum total of 0 research on this. I just clicked that. So give me some feedback if it's bothersome. And I won't do that again. But, you know, I'm easily influenced. If they say recommended, I typically go with that. So how's everybody doing out there? We'll see how this new format works out, and hopefully it's not going to drive anybody insane. To me, right from where I sit, it looks exactly the same as it always does because I got rid of that second screen. So hopefully everybody, okay, TSP, it's vertical on my computer, but horizontal on my Roku. I don't know what. Okay. Hi, Sully. It's only horizontal. Okay. Well, hopefully TSP, you getting the double duty there isn't going to drive you batty. Okay, Jamie, it shows you a mobile phone so you can choose. BB King Kong looks regular on iPad. Okay, your Roku is on your TV now. Okay. I love there. So anyway, it's not bothersome. Okay. So we'll see how that is. It's funny because it's showing me on some of you guys like a little icon next to your name of a phone. So I guess it shows me who's on the vertical screen. I guess it's just to make it better in some way for phone watchers. So hopefully the chat all comes together, because I just real quick popped over to the YouTube page and I saw there were two separate listings. So hopefully everybody is together in the same chat. So hopefully that's all going. So nobody's like chatting somewhere else where we can't see them. Good morning, postpartum. Jamie, TSP. Who else is here? I think somebody scrolled by. Tamara. Yes, you are catching a live. I just decided to do this kind of impromptu this morning because it's been a while. It's been like over a month. It's 11:11 today, you guys, and we'll probably be on here at 11 a.m. I don't know if I've ever shared that on 11/11/2011 at 11 a.m., I went on my bridge, in my pedestrian bridge in Tempe. I called it my Bridge of Dreams, and I read a poem into the water at 11 o'clock a.m. on 11/11/11/11. And it was like me declaring a wish, and that exact poem was read at my wedding 4 years later. So there are people on the other stream chatting. Shoot, I wonder what we can do about that. If you can hear me on the other stream, you can somehow get over to this one so we can all be in the same. It shows 21 people in here. But if you can somehow navigate yourself over to this one, sorry about the confusion of that. I just did, like I said, 0 research on it. So I have absolutely no idea what this is doing. Yeah, it looks like we've got 9 watching in one and 11 in the other. So I'm in the one, let's just say this. I will see you chatting. If you're in the one where TSP, postpartum for days, Jamie Justice, if you see those people chatting, that's where I am. So maybe you can jump over here, because I really don't know how to change this at this point, and I don't want to miss anybody's chat. So anyway, welcome everybody. We're going to start with a poem this morning after that little intro. And then I got a little funny anecdote, funny story from my week to share with you guys. Another embarrassing moment that I seem to have on a regular. So I picked up this book last night. It was by my bedside. Everything is Waiting for You. And we're going to read that poem. That title is Everything is Waiting for You. And I think some of you guys with this poem will see some themes of things that This poem has been a big influence to me, so you might see some themes of things that I have talked about on this channel before, because this is a poem I've read often and it means a lot to me. And here comes Mr. Beasley. Everything is waiting for you. Thank you, TSP, for putting that link there. Everything is waiting for you. Your great mistake is to act the drama as if you were alone, as if life were a progressive and cunning crime with no witness to the tiny, hidden transgressions. To feel abandoned is to deny the intimacy of your surroundings. That's a big line there. Here he comes. Okay. Surely even you at times have felt the grand array, the swelling presence, and the chorus crowding out your solo voice. You must note the way the soap dish enables you, or the window latch grants you freedom. Alertness is the hidden discipline of familiarity. The stairs are your mentor of things to come. The doors have always been there to frighten you and invite you. And the tiny speaker in your phone is your dream ladder to divinity. Put down the weight of your aloneness and ease into the conversation. The kettle is singing even as it pours you a drink. The cooking pots have left their arrogant aloofness and see the good in you at last. All the birds and creatures of the world are unutterably themselves. Everything is waiting for you. Isn't that a good one? David White, again, everything is waiting for you. Except for my scrunchie, which is, where'd you put it? Which is waiting for me, God knows where. Oh, there's another one. There's scrunchies everywhere because, as you can imagine, I put them in, they get pulled out. How's everybody doing out there? Yeah, you're longingly looking at this, aren't you? He doesn't even play with them anymore. He just wants to pull them out. Yep, he's sitting there just with the look. I'm in one of those. I need to have my hair up. So I don't see anybody chatting here, so hopefully people didn't end up over on the other one. Okay, Jamie, you heard that great poem. It is a great poem. It is really one to think about. Hi, Kevin. I like that one very much, too. That one line. No. You already got the scrunchie. Here's your bone. Here's your bone. There's a delivery driver. There's a line in here. To feel abandoned is to deny the intimacy of your surroundings. I think that's a really strong line. Surely even you at times have felt the grand array, the swelling presence, and the chorus crowding out your solo voice. It's talking about just our surroundings. It's okay, Tamara, you just listen away. So how's everybody doing out there? Picking up this cup is reminding me that there is a reality show that we stumbled across. Well, my husband's, he's been connecting with this college friend, and who's a really interesting fellow. And he turned us on to this reality show, I think on Netflix, called something like The Great Pottery Showdown. And it is so, I mean, I like any kind of competition that's about, people showing their creativity, but it's about clay. And I spent a lot of years working with clay, not throwing like this, but hand building. And my husband didn't even know that about me. He's like, how do you know all of this stuff? Because I was, making comments about this or that. And he's like, and then they would go on and say, yes, about, the slip and how you use the slip and how you make hatch marks, whatever. And he's like, how did you know that? You don't know that about me. I spent after my sister died, that was one thing I threw myself into was clay. And the Mesa Art Center in Mesa, Arizona had the most beautiful pottery studio. And the little known secret about it was that if you signed up for a class, you had access to the open studio. So all these professional potters did that because this was a incredible studio with all these different kilns, and you had access to everything in open studio. So they would just sign up for a class and then really make it like open studio time. And I didn't know that till I got into it. And I spent hours and hours and hours there. And I really miss it. It was one of those things that I didn't know. You don't know what you got till it's gone, because it was so really, it was a paradise there. Hi, MJ. I heard postpartum that it's cold there. John told me that it's colder in Florida than it is in Denver right now. Hi, MJ. You're not special. Everyone's surroundings are out to make them feel insignificant. Interesting. So I got a funny story for you, and then I want to talk to you about these films because we sort of stumbled across them. Um, but I'm going to tell you something else before that. I'm going to tell you the funny story because I was telling my friend at lunch yesterday, and she's just about peeing her pants laughing. Another of Kathy's embarrassing moments. I woke up to snow today, TSP. Snowing and snow. Hi, Leanne. I'm glad you made it. What I took from the poem, the beauty of life is always filled with possibilities for goodness no matter what is going on. No need to be stuck. Look around, think differently. Wow, Jamie. I like that. Yeah, and that sort of aloneness, like, are we ever really alone when, we have these interactions with things? Like John, back to the pottery show. We had this whole conversation about it because he's like, I cannot believe I never knew this about you. And he goes, now I understand why you have all these coffee cups because it annoys him. He's like, why does she have to have all these different coffee cups? And he goes, and I notice you pick a different one every day. I said, you don't understand. I pick a coffee cup and I am like connecting with the potter and I'm looking at this thumbprint right now and thinking of them putting their thumb on that. And this show really highlights that kind of thing, like making you connected to the artistry of functional objects and that are handmade. And he's like, I now understand why you have all those different coffee cups. He goes, I got to be honest, I've been really annoyed about that because it just takes up too much space. But that show really brought that out. It was an interesting conversation. Wow, it's 72 expected there. You're in California, right, Jamie? Okay, so TSP is giving, let me put that up there. The link we have for people new coming in, we have 2 streams going on. It's a StreamYard thing. I don't know if I'll do it again because it seems like it's split the chat, which I'm not a fan of. And one is horizontal, one is vertical, and I clicked on that, and I don't know how to undo it at this point, so we're kind of stuck with that. So hopefully you can come over here and join the chat because I don't want to. I'm only seeing the chat that has MJ, Leanne, Jamie, TSP commenting right now. Thank you, MJ. No worries. It's still the birthday week. Look what my brother gave me. I wanted to show you this. Isn't that cute? Love. It's one of many gifts he gave me. He also gave me bedding. And it's funny, he gave me this bedding last year and it has snowflakes all over it. You probably can't see it, but he asked me when I was over at his house, have you put your snowflake bedding on yet? And he's like, I want to get you bedding for every season. So the one that he gave me was like fall bedding. And I didn't, but I couldn't find this other bedding that I was going to because I'm like, it's kind of too early for snowflake bedding. But yesterday I'm like, screw it. I'm going to put it on because I could find it. And it is nice. It's cozy. And I put that on yesterday, changed the whole bedding top to bottom. And then it snowed last night. So I'm like, guess it wasn't too early for that. But I wanted to tell you that we've started this whole new thing here at our house because normally in the evenings, like we watch a movie or we're binge watching something or whatever. But we've started this thing called Pillow Talk where just simply because I've been still having a relapse of being sick, I'm much better as of yesterday. And so I'm like not really feeling like, doing much. And so we just basically come and turn on the little fireplace on the wall. It's a little electric fireplace. And we just stretch out across the bed. And Beasley comes in here with us and hangs with us. And we just talk about different subjects. And the other night I was like, I don't really know what to talk about. I don't really have a subject. But then he brought up something. And last night we ended up like having a 2-hour pillow talk about kind of what's going on in politics. And he does a lot of reading about stuff like that. So I kind of rely on him. This book on like brain stuff that he's reading. And actually that stuff on brain stuff is solidifying his decision to not come back to social media. So anyway, nutrition. I mean, we just went all over the map and like 2 hours later, we're just laying here in this cozy light and this cozy room. And it really inspired me to like get my room organized. Cause like, I don't know about you guys, but being sick, things were just piling up and piles of things here and there, but just a little bit. I changed a light bulb and, changed the bedding and cleared stuff off this bench and just cleared out the space. And last night, this room was such a vibe. I felt like I was in like a super nice, like cozy hotel room or something because I had, gotten rid of all my crap. Of course, there's dog toys everywhere, but I don't know. I just recommend that if you have a partner or even by yourself, like just having this, I don't know, cozy, intimate time in the evening. I don't know. It's just really, really, and then like he was texting me later because he typically stays up a lot later than me, and he was texting me like, I really enjoyed our pillow talk. So we decided to rename this bedroom the Pillow Talk Lounge. Okay, let's see. Yes, Gia, you're in the correct chat right now. Hi from Austria. Welcome. I do too. Postpartum. My bed is like everything. Similar amount of people on each stream. I get you so well concerning your dear brother. My oldest son has the same. I get you so well. All the best. Okay. Well, I don't need to explain to you anything, do I? He's doing much better. Much better. We had to make some changes, and that's life. We had to evolve with some things and confront some things and have some discussions about things with him, with his care team and all that. And so we did that. So anyway, it's just always evolving. Things are good now. Those $40 rechargeable lamps are great for a cozy vibe throughout the house. Oh, I love those rechargeable lamps. You're not kidding. That whole rechargeable scene is so cool. And they even have them for light bulbs now. In fact, at our other house, I'm going to put some sconces, like reading lights, because we don't have any good reading light in there. And I'm just going to mount them on the wall, but use the rechargeable bulbs. So it doesn't have to be plugged in or hardwired. The bulb is the thing that you charge. So we could just get anything and put it on the wall, and just the light comes from the bulb. I got that from one of the design kind of YouTube channels that I watch. Hi, Tamara. I'm so grateful for you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here too, Tamara. Can you say what concert you all went to? Love the music and your YouTube shirts. Oh, thank you. We went to see Chicago. It was fantastic. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say I was distracted because there were some kind of major issues going on with my brother that evening that were distracting me. But the concert was fantastic. The light show, there were some of the original members there, played everything, all their songs, and great performers, and all the horns, with Chicago, all those horns and sax and, everything. And then one of my favorite parts of the show was a percussion section that they did that was just the two drummers on the stage. It was unbelievable. And like all behind them, they had really good lighting and stuff, better than Doobie Brothers, was just flames. All behind them was flames. And it was, I was just feeling it in every cell of my body, the percussion, the drums, everything that went on and on and on. It was fantastic. Saturday in the Park, of course, they played that. Oh my God, Jamie, you're going to see Toast, a tribute to Amanda Bread. That's hilarious. What a name, Toast. That's awesome. Bread. Oh my God. If a picture paints 1,000 words, then why can't I paint you? Oh my God, it takes you right back to high school. Yeah, the horns with Chicago. And they were all, just all up front and center, all the horns across there. And I will say that their lead singer sounds very much like Peter Cetera, who was their lead singer back in the day, right? He can hit those really high notes like that. And like if you closed your eyes, you might think it was him. He was really good. Oh, he sounds just like the lead guy. Oh my God. I would love that. I'm going to keep an eye out for that, Jamie. Is it just a local band, Toast? I love that. That's so cute how they tweak the name like that. I want to tell you guys about these films, but I'm enjoying the chatting. Does everybody have a coffee? I am feeling so much better, but my funny story I'm going to tell is around these therapies I've had in the last week. Mr. Mistress doing all right over there. He's awake and alert. He's not asleep, but he's not going for the you know what, and he's not trying to. He's letting me talk, so what? I found him. He's bored, and when I've been sick, it's like I haven't gotten him out, and he hasn't had a play date. You know, he's just bored, and I haven't had new toys in a while. So I dug through some stuff, and I found a couple toys that have been hidden, and like he was just so happy. Okay, Jamie, they're national. I gotta put my glasses on. McDonald's coffee is my favorite. Nothing too good for the poor, as my dad always said. McDonald's does have good coffee. Do you guys know that whole I know how dare I give yours instead of Mr. Beasley. I know. That dog has my attention all day long. But he's being so good right now. Very good. Tim Hortons is good. So did anybody get like hooked into did anybody get a Starbucks Bear cup? So I saw that those were coming out on my birthday. That was my birthday that they were released. So I sent a picture of it to Lillian and I said, do we need to get one of these? Now she drinks iced stuff. She likes iced matcha. I very rarely drink iced coffee, mainly because I will suck it down in 2 seconds flat and I need to slowly sip my coffee. So, I don't hardly ever get it, but I mean, it was my birthday. I'm like, do we need to get one of these? And she writes it back, oh, yes. So I'm thinking, oh, go by. I totally forgot about it. But then I realized they sold out in like 2 seconds flat. So I saw an Instagram last night where somebody got up at like 3:30 in the morning to go to Starbucks. They were already sold out by the time she got there at like 4. And then she went to like 3 Starbucks. Then she showed herself with her little sad cup of coffee in a paper cup that she did end up getting. But and then I saw something with, oh, it's a scam. The bears are a scam. Of course, I wanted one, when I saw it. But then somebody said, this is going to make you feel better about the Starbucks bears. And somebody who got one does this whole video of them trying to put it into their cup holder in their car. And they're like, like it won't fit in any cup holder. And like, if you didn't get one, don't feel bad because like they didn't engineer that part right to fit in a cup holder. Like, I thought that was pretty clever. So yeah, they're cute because it has a little green cap on. What else did I see? When you start looking at something, it offers you other things. And I saw another one where this woman found, apparently there's this type of big bulk cookies, and it's probably those little teddy bear cookies that she got it off the bottom shelf. That it looked like it might have been even at like a dollar store situation, and she pulled it off, and it's a bear, but it's a plastic container. And she took it, and she took the lid and stuck a straw through it, and then got something to make the green hat, but the thing was huge. So she's like, in case you're wanting to make your own, it's like, this big around. It's very cute. You managed to get a Hello Kitty cup for your daughter. Those sold out as well. I missed that entirely, the Hello Kitty thing. They're $400 on eBay. That's crazy. It's like the Cabbage Patch doll thing. I saw that, and it has to be hand washed, I'm sure. Deal breaker for me. Yeah, and all those nooks and crannies in there, especially if you have something that's like a milky cup, forget it. But it's kind of funny, I wonder if they're going to do a stock of them at some point. I mean, before Christmas, because that would be a big deal, wouldn't it? For people to get them for Christmas gifts. But I thought, hey, it's my birthday. I should hold one for me. I probably wouldn't even use it though, because I don't really drink iced coffee. $400 on eBay. I want to tell you guys a funny story, and then I want to talk about the films that we've been looking at. You have so many Cabbage Patch dolls. That's cool that you still have them. So being, I had sort of a relapse of that whatever. I'm still not convinced I didn't have COVID because this was very, very much. But I guess there's other viruses going out that sort of are like that. But I mean, things don't hang on to me like that aren't like something weird, like a regular old cold or whatever. And anyway, so I've been doing different things. Well, I found this place in my community called a Medi Spa. Well, these are kind of new things that crop up. I think how they mostly make their coin is through like beauty treatments and weight loss in these, but they do the IV therapy. That's what I was looking for because, I love that IV therapy. And so I made an appointment for that. And so they have some medical treatments kind of snuck in there. But, they make people spend their money on beauty stuff. Anyway, no judgment. It's just interesting that like in the menu of things. So there were two things with it. So this guy is the manager there, and he is the one I have my appointment with to do this IV. Very personable guy. And I just immediately clicked with this guy. Immediately clicked with this clinic. The vibes are immaculate in this clinic. It's just so chill and so friendly and so nurturing. And it just, the second I walked in, I felt like a coming home kind of feeling. And very different than the one that I go up to in up north. This is just like a very different vibe. And I'm sure it's trickles down from the top because this guy is very, very, I don't know, he's just got one of those sparkling personalities. I was trying to explain it to John, like he's got that Santa Claus twinkle. That's what I call it. He's got the twinkle. And then the woman that I went to, she's the same way. It's like, anyway, so as it turns out, so he's doing my IV and he does this whole assessment on me. And while we're there, I said, is this, deciding on what to get in the IV bag? I told him I'm really primarily here for my lungs. And, I'm just sick and tired of this weakness in my lungs and I need to build them up. And anything you recommend? Well, as it turns out, this guy not only is an RN, but he also, his other job is he's the manager for all the nurses on the life flight, like the helicopter. That's a very serious job for an RN. And so like, it made me feel so comfortable with him. Like, this man really knows his stuff. It surprised me that he had that level of skill. And so, we were just getting to know each other first time there. And he was so cute. He kept offering a mimosa because they had just had a party. I'm like, really? I don't think I can justify, getting IV nutrients in this arm and sipping a mimosa in that hand. Like, dude, I don't think I could justify that, right? And he kept popping his head and goes, sure, you don't want a mimosa? He's just cute, very cute personality. I'm going to show you a picture of him here in a second. So, we're getting to know each other. And he said, actually, of what we have here to offer, one of the best things for your lungs would be this red light therapy. And shoot, I should show you a picture of that. I have it on my phone. So I said, well, let me make an appointment for that because I know John had looked into that at some point and they were like, this is so, it's very in demand. It's kind of hard to get into there because they just have one room for it. Here's a picture of it. I took this picture of it. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's glare. But so they have this infrared spa thing, and then you lay on this table, and they just wrap you in these pads that do this red light therapy. And I said, just put them all around my lungs, because they put them on your arms and legs and everything. But I just said, put as many as you can around my lungs. I actually think that was the turning point, even more than the IV, was this red light therapy. So we're talking about that. And he goes, okay, well, let's get you set up. And they ended up having a cancellation on Saturday. I'm like, sign me up. So he gave me the appointment. And then he's like, well, let's just go fill out your paperwork now. So in the meantime, I'll show you. Okay, so this is what is going on. This is my, sorry if you don't like needles or whatever. That's my actual arm because I sent a picture of it to send it to John. That's me getting the IV therapy right there. And so there I am sitting in the room doing that. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. What am I doing? Hang on. Trying to get rid of this vertical thing. So there I am getting this therapy, talking to the guy. He's like, he's kind of coming and going in there. And he goes, well, let's go ahead. And I mean, I didn't mind. I didn't need to sit there in silence while that was going on. And so he's like, let's fill out the paperwork. So I had already filled out the paperwork for the IV, but then he wanted to get the other forms filled out for me to do this red light therapy for my appointment. He says, then when you come in, you're all done. You just can go right into your appointment. So we're doing that. And he's doing an assessment, just going through the checklist, do you have any history of cancer? Blah, blah, blah. All the different things that they do. And then suddenly he asked me this question. Now, I have done thousands in my life of assessments just like this. So this is not new to me. This is as a therapist, and this is not uncomfortable to me or anything. This is very familiar territory for me, and asking people all about different aspects of their health. My assessment would be covering every single system of the body so I could understand what was going on in their whole connective tissue matrix. So this man says to me, wait a minute, I'm going to show you. I know I'm making this into a big thing. I'm going to show you the scene. I'm going to set the scene here. I found the picture because this is the actual man. Okay. Remove that. Why is this not coming up? Hang on. Okay. That's the actual man right there. So picture that. That's him. Imagine that's me, but he's got me in a much more comfortable room. In fact, he started me in this one room that was kind of more like this. And then he moved me, he goes, no, I'm going to take you into a more comfortable room. And it had this like really, I mean, that might have been one of the chairs recliner, but it had a faux fireplace on the wall. It was like a big screen TV that was having the fireplace and everything. And that's him, very professional, doing his job and everything. And I'm kicked back in this recliner with the IV going, the fireplace going, the low lighting, and everything. And he's asking me all these questions, any history of this, any history of that, any cardiovascular problems, any this or that. And then he asked me, do you have a bowel movement once a day? For some reason, I don't know why I wasn't expecting that question. You know how I answered that? Wait for it. It just like threw me for a loop, that question. You know how I answered that? I went, hang on. I'm going to reenact it with the hand gesture too. So I've got the hand out here doing the IV, and with the other hand, I go, oh, hang on. I'm sorry for the lead in, but this is still making me laugh. I go, me? Me? Who the hell else is he asking a question of? There's nobody else in the room. Me? Why the hell did I say that? I'm professional. Because there will be a time I will laugh with this man over that because he's holding it together, being very professional. And then I'm like, processing. And then I finally answer the question like, oh yeah, moving along. What the hell? Who else would we be asking that question of? Me? What a crazy answer. Oh my God. Susie and I yesterday in that cafe were laughing so hard about that because it's like, I don't know. I just felt really familiar with this guy, but that question just threw me for a loop, and I don't know why. I'm thinking about this red light therapy, and like they want to do all these precautions, but like, what does that have to do with it? But it's just part of his assessment, But I just wasn't expecting the question, and I got uncomfortable, and so I deflected by saying, "Me." Oh my God! I just had to share that. Sorry, now I'm making myself cough again. Like I said, one day I will laugh with this man over that. And maybe he registered, maybe he's telling the same story to his girlfriend. Later. Like I had this crazy answer to this question. Hi, Alaska. Yeah. Hopefully he is, telling that story. Like, why did this woman? And then by that point, because I told him, I said, like you drove all over the treadmill from laughing. And by that point, I told him, I said, hey, because he was asking me which arm. And I said, I got a really juicy vein here on the right. And then he looks at me, goes, you worked in healthcare, didn't you? I said, yeah, I was an RN in another life. And he goes, and I said, why do you say that? He goes, because you said a juicy vein. So, he already knew that I'm familiar with this world and this territory. And we were talking about all kinds of things, health related, medical related. By the time he asked me that question, me? Why did I answer that? How freaking stupid. I don't know what. Oh, why? That question just caught me off guard and I was uncomfortable. And I just decided to deflect it like that. And then he like nods his head like, yeah. But he didn't show any kind of like, yeah, you dumbass. Who else would it be? He didn't say anything like that. Like, is there somebody else here? Somebody else in the room I'm not aware of? Oh my God. It was so funny. And then we went right on through the thing, but oh my God. Yeah, well, he just went right on, Jamie. He just, he just kind of Let me show you this guy again. I mean, this guy is just a total sweetheart. There he is. Let me show you. I'll put him on the whole screen. Here he is. That's the man. Right there. Being very professional, wearing his gloves, doing his IV, sitting with his with his clipboard, and just being efficient, asking me these questions. And then like that's the gentleman. And then there's me. Sully, are you talking to me? Sully, you can relate to it because you probably do assessments like this all the time, right? And you're just going down your checklist. Just wasn't expecting that. Are you talking to me? What the hell? I don't think I've ever done that in my life. Oh my God, I'm surprised we didn't both burst out laughing. I will bring that up to him again, though, and I'll see if he clocked it and he's remembering it. But because he's that kind of person that you can joke around with. Like I said, he kept like he came in and he had this big load of sheets and he poked his head and he goes, "Do you mind if I drop these in this room?" Because they had an unexpected client come in and he didn't have anywhere to put, like they pulled these sheets off of a table somewhere else. I said, "Do whatever you want. It's your room. I'm just sitting in the corner getting this IV. Like, I don't care." And then as he's leaving, he goes, "You sure you don't want that mimosa?" Because we were just joking, through the whole thing. So, I mean, the next time I go in there, I can definitely tell him how much of a laugh I've gotten out of it. And he told someone later. I hope he did. Sounds like what men say when I ask if they experience ED. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're not expecting that question either, I definitely could see that. Hi, Maureen. Welcome. I'm just telling a most embarrassing story, and you can probably scroll back and hear it that happened this week. Anyway, it's like, hi, nice to meet you. Me? Crazy. Yeah, he stayed on point. Yeah, he definitely. I mean, he was being very professional through the whole thing, but I didn't laugh at all either until later. I didn't laugh till I got home because I was like awkward. I was just like having a moment of embarrassment, and then I was totally normal after that. And then I came home. Oh, you hear the Snoopy? He's hearing Trisket come out. I'm sorry about that, because if he sees Trisket in the window, Trisket is his girlfriend next door. And if he sees her through the window, he's going to lose his mind. He's hearing something. No, this is not the same Maureen. This is a new Maureen. Postpartum. We have a Maureen from back in the day. I'm not sure what happened with our other Maureen, if she's still around. So yeah, that's my little funny story for the day, for the week. But then, yeah, I did go back and had the red light therapy, the same level of just competence. And clearly they do that part of their weight loss program. She's like, "Do you want to be weighed and measured?" And I'm like, hell no. No. I don't need the trauma. I'm just here for the lungs. I'm not here for the self-induced trauma, because they do it for the people in the weight loss program, and then they weigh and measure them, and they like before and after. I said, "No, let me make your job a lot easier for you. You don't have to do any of that with me. You just need to put this stuff on my lungs." So anyway, I think it really helped. And drum roll, I looked at because John is doing a lot of stuff for his health right now too. And so I looked at getting a package of that. And then I looked at the cost for that, and thinking it's not that easy to get in for these appointments, and came home, and John and I had a whole talk about it. I said, "Really, the package?" we could buy one. So we're going to get one. We're going to get one of those red light saunas because I will use it. I have chronic things with my lungs. I need to work on it. And I really think that that red light therapy did help me. And this guy said, of all the services we offer here, that probably would be the best for you, is that red light therapy for helping to build up your lungs. So, wow, Tamara, you lost 143 pounds. Congratulations. That's amazing. Yeah, I was surprised that they offered this anywhere, in this. Oh, you're a naturopath. Okay, thank you, Memories, Maureen. Yes, the red light therapy. And it has also the, not ultrasound, not ultraviolet, infrared, far infrared is part of it. So John and I decided, like I said, either we could get a package and do this there, or we could get our own sauna thing for like the same price and have it accessible to ourselves. So we did a bunch of research and did it. Well, good for you, Maureen and Tamara. They have portable saunas. Yeah, we did some research on them. So, hi, Marta. Morning, I put you on YouTube and clicked your coffee talk. Started using my electric and heard questions about bowel movements. That was so funny. I know. Oh my God. I know someone in Austin, Texas who manufactures those machines. Oh, okay. Thanks, Alaska, for that. Yeah, you guys are doing great. The really the thing that works the best for me is intermittent fasting, and postpartum has been also having a major health transformation. I hope you guys got connected with Sully, who's in here postpartum. I hope you guys got connected. I know you were wanting to reach out to him. Always take a shower after sauna to remove toxins that were sweated out. That's a good suggestion. I didn't sweat that much in it, but by the same token, I wasn't in it that long. I could feel the sweating coming on. But man, yesterday, my friend, because the one I helped her with the wedding, she's like, "How are you feeling?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm a lot better." And she goes, "You look a lot better." She goes, "I was worried about you at the wedding thing." She goes, "Do you realize how pale you looked?" And I was like breaking out in a full sweat. And she goes, "Why do you think I kept telling you to sit down?" Because I was shaking, and I mean, this thing has not wanted to exit the system, but I think the red light therapy was the turning point. Bethany, I don't know, and that is a question that John brought up too. And I'll ask my friend. That's my friend that gave me the good laugh. It was really sweet too, because when I came home, I felt so good. I felt so fortunate because our community is not large. And to have that level of a service, it's literally like 4 minutes from my house, so close, so accessible, and such a high level of service. I mean, when I first started getting this IV therapy in Arizona, I drove an hour to get across, the city to go get that done. And that's in a huge metropolitan area. And here we are in a small town, really, and to have this here. And so I just kept thanking him, like, "I'm so glad you're here. I can't believe I found you, and that you're offering this high level of service here." And so I came right home and wrote them a Google review. And then I got an automated text saying, "Did you like your service?" You could tell it's just part of their thing. And I wrote back yes and said, "If you liked your service, would you mind doing a Google review?" And I wrote back and said, "Already did." Well, apparently he's on that text, because then he wrote me back in this whole long paragraph about how much he appreciated my Google review and thanks for the time for doing that and everything like that. But I had already done that before they asked me to, simply because I was just so filled with gratitude for this place and for this high level of service. And like everybody there is like super competent, super friendly. Like when I went in for I'm just going in for this red light therapy, which is, not that, it's not like even a massage, or if they do facials and all that stuff there. But she's like, "Can I get you a tea?" And while you're waiting, and she fixed me, "What do you want in your tea?" And, it was like, they don't have to do all that. They could just say, "Oh, there's tea over there. Make yourself a tea," whatever. I mean, it was, and making recommendations about the right tea that would be for me. And I don't know, it's just at a whole level that I was not expecting. So those are great. Those saunas. I used to go to a chiropractor after an accident, and he had the sauna. It was excellent. It's great. So you guys are familiar with this. Yeah, I am bumping up the vitamin C as well. Wondering if people are getting the COVID vaccine there. Supposedly the flu vaccine isn't a perfect match for the prominent strains out there now. Yeah, I don't know. Hi, Scotch's mom. Welcome. So I'm very, very grateful that this facility, that this place, and you just want them to stay alive, but I think what's going to keep them staying alive is all the other stuff that they do. They have a lot of esthetician stuff. They do all the Botox, all that kind of stuff. And then they got this weight loss track, medical weight loss track. But I'm like threading the needle. It's like, I just want the IV therapy and the red light therapy. Right, Bethany? It does feel luxurious. Yeah, and it was in a really nice cup, like a tall cup with a lid, like that I could take it to go. It was like this dandelion tea. She picked that out for me. And it was just so, over and above what you would expect from a place like that. So just feel so grateful that it's in this little community that, I just kept thanking, like, I'm so glad you guys are here. And I can't believe, it's taken me so long to find you, but I have. They don't have a salt room, Maureen, but oh, I love salt rooms. At our other place up north, there's a whole salt cave place that I should go there. Thank you for reminding me of that. And oh my God, if anybody is near Seattle, in Linwood is this Olympus Spa that has all the different rooms, the salt, the charcoal, the malachite, it has like, I don't know, 7 different rooms that you can go in and experience that. And then of course they have the saunas and the scrubs and all that stuff there. A salt room is a room that is all built out of that Himalayan salt, like bricks of that pink Himalayan salt. And in the one that I've been in, it's not just the walls, like you are surrounded by this salt. What is it called? Thalassotherapy? Is that what you call it, Maureen? Something like that, thalassotherapy. And then they have the crushed salt underneath like a canvas. So you're walking on it as well, like under your feet, like it's kind of like sand with this canvas over it. So you're just, and then they have light emitting through it. So it's activating that. And it's really good for your lungs, is this therapy in a salt room. I've been in quite a few of those in different places. There's a spa in Las Vegas that has a huge salt room. And I have like a salt lamp in my studio up north for that reason. So yeah, that's what the salt, and that's supposed to be one of a really good thing for lungs as well. Now that I'm saying that, Maureen, I have some salt lamps up there. I'm going to put that in my infrared sauna, put my salt lamp in there to get that effect as well. Merry Christmas to you. Oh, okay, Lucy. You're 90 minutes away from Linwood. You got to go. In fact, right now they have a special they're running on the day passes, but I mean, whatever. You just get a day pass. You go in there. You can get a service or not. The scrubs are amazing. But you can just go from room to room to room, and they're at different temperatures, and they have different properties, each room, and they'll tell you what it's good for. Like, I go to all the rooms when I go in there. And one of them is like the freeze in the Arctic room that, I guess sort of like a cold plunge, but it's in a room. Yeah. And it's just a bunch of people laying around, and you can put an eye patch on and just experience the healing properties of whatever that room is, the theme of that room. But literally all the walls are covered in that, whatever that is, charcoal or sand, I think is one of them, and different elements, but salt is one of them. But there's a salt cave there in Bloomington. Yeah, go check it out, TSP. I'm glad you mentioned that again, Maureen, because there is one up north that is fantastic. And that would be also very good to do right now. Love to do that. I have asthma, but use Advair, and usually great. However, right before going on vacation, I get chest cold. And okay, you know what I'm talking about, Marta. I've never been diagnosed with asthma, but I'm sure I probably have it intermittently. As my dad used to say, you've had coughs and issues with lungs your whole life since you were a baby, but nobody ever took me to the doctor for it. So I didn't I used to cough all night when I was a kid. I just don't think it was diagnosed. Whatever. I don't need the diagnosis. I just want to get better. I want to get my lungs better. It's hard when you can't breathe. So I want to tell you guys about these films. I don't like the glare on the glasses, so let's think if I could. I couldn't find my reading glasses anywhere. I had like 10,000 pairs of glasses, and not one of them were reading glasses until I uncovered those this morning. So we found this film. I think it's on Amazon Prime, called Sundown, and it has Tim Roth in it. And I just like the description of it. We're always looking for different, unique kind of films. I don't remember what the description said, but I liked it. And we watched it, and at the end of it, we were utterly blown away by this movie and by the filmmaking of this movie. And I believe that one, his name is Michel Franco. He's a young Mexican filmmaker, and has been doing a lot of films he's only like 40 or something now. And he's been doing films since his early 20s. He has a lot of films out there. And it's one of the most unique styles of filmmaking that I've seen. And John was pointing out like specifics about it. Like notice that he does a lot of long shots. Like you feel like you're sort of an observer instead of like, there's not a lot of close-ups of faces. Like you're sort of like a fly on the wall a bit. Creates that kind of a mood. But there are these twists that are so profound and so dramatic, and at the same time super subtle. I don't know how to explain this other than like there was this one major twist in that Sundown that left us like pausing the movie, looking at each other saying, did we miss something? Did we actually know that? Because you're sort of led to believe a certain dynamic, and then all of a sudden it just sort of slips in that that's completely wrong. And John's like, no, we're just finding that out now. Like to the point where you want to rewind the movie. Like, did we miss something? Because it changes the entire 100% story, but in such a subtle way that you feel like, did we miss something? That's one of his signature things. And he does it throughout the film. So it's like sneaks up on you. And then at the end of it, we were left with, wow, like we just wanted to talk about it. It was kind of early in the evening. We kind of had something else queued up to watch after it. And we were like, I don't want to watch anything else. I just want to digest this film. And we talked for at least an hour just about that film after it was over. And then we started looking up more of his stuff. Then we found another one. All right, Alaska, we'll catch you later. By the same filmmaker. He has a lot of things out there where he's been producer and stuff on, but I'm interested in the one where he's writer and director because, he's directing it exactly how he wants to. TSP, I really hope you get to watch some of these because just from a filmmaking standpoint, it's very unique. It's like I could probably watch one of his films now after seeing these two and recognize his style. Like if you watch a Tarantino film, it's Tarantino, right? Or Guy Ritchie, they have a unique style of filmmaking. This guy has the same, but it's quiet and subtle, but it's powerful and so textured and unique. So the other one that we watched day before yesterday is called Memory. That one I don't know where that one is, but the name of it is Memory. There's two out there that are called Memory, and this is not the one with Liam Neeson. This is the one with Jessica Chastain and Peter Sarsgaard. Same thing. The twists and the, thought so provocative. I related to, if you watch it, you'll know why I related to certain aspects of it, especially like a sibling and an impaired sibling. That's a theme in it. And sort of moral dilemmas and how trauma affects people. And, he starts to kind of suggest certain things to lead you down a path. Like you're having a question of like, oh, is that what's going on? But then all of a sudden, no, you're back over here and like, oh, that's what was going on. And I mean, you're just left at the end of it like you've taken this wild ride, but at the same time, it's a very subtle, slow. I said one of his, and this is why the writer director thing I think is so powerful combination of his. Some people that's not good with because they sort of lose perspective, but this guy gets to do it the way that he wants to do it. Like he gets to direct the movie the way that he wrote it. Like in his head when he wrote the script, he gets to direct it how he thought that would go down. And one of the things that I think is a hallmark to his style is that there are lots of pauses in the dialogue, but good pauses. Like he leaves a lot of space where it is like the ultimate show don't tell. So the story is told through what you're observing and between the lines, and even in the dialogue, there's a lot of lingering spaces, but not uncomfortable. Not and I said, God, he just leaves. He lets them take their time. And I'm thinking that's direction, where they're not just rushing through the lines. He lets them take their time and he goes, and John's like, that's actually real conversation. That feels real. So the name is I'm going to pull these up. Talk amongst yourselves. I will pull up the two of them. I'm going to start with this memory one. And so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, here it is, man. It's still sticking with me, and I saw it a couple days ago. It has 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I can see why. Hang on. Let me find it. Okay, here's it on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, it's 4 stars. Jessica Chastain is amazing in this film. So I'll remove that. You don't need to see my IV again. Oh, wait, sorry. I was trying to get rid of it, and I added it. All right. Hang on. Stop that screen. Let me try another one. Here we go. Okay, hopefully you can see that. See if I can. This is it. It's from 2023. You can see there's Peter Sarsgaard and Jessica Chastain. I'll just read you the description. Sylvia, Jessica Chastain, is a social worker who leads a simple and structured life. Her daughter, her job, her AA meetings. This is blown open when Saul, Peter Sarsgaard, follows her home from their high school reunion. Their surprise encounter will profoundly impact both of them, as well as they open the door to the past. That is all I read. It sounded intriguing. Oh, it's on Paramount Plus. That's where you can see it if you have that. It also has Merritt Weaver, if you know that actress, who is amazing, I think, in everything. And she's really good in it. She plays the sister. Everybody is good in this. See you later, Maureen. Thanks for joining in today. So that is Memory. And then let me show you Sundown. The one with Tim Roth. And when I was doing more research on him after finishing this one, like I want to see every single thing that this guy's ever done, I realized that he does a lot of films with Tim Roth. So he's got at least 2 more films. And I think some of them are in Spanish because he's Mexican and they're filmed in Mexico. A lot of his stuff is filmed in Mexico. Okay, Sundown is on Netflix. So I'll show you that one. Let me get rid of that one. Yeah, I mean, if you like this what I'm describing to you, if you like that kind of a film that's, I don't know, slow burn, but just very compelling story. Like he's one of the best storytellers in film I've run across in a long time. So that's Sundown. You can see Tim Roth there. I'm looking forward to seeing, there's 2 other ones. Let me see if they're, Sundown's emotionally muted wavelength may be difficult for some viewers to tune into. That's a good way to put it. But it's enlivened by Tim Roth's strong central performance. Somebody says there's a sense of dread running through this deeply discomfiting but gripping character study. Yeah, somebody says slow moving and boring. I didn't find it at all boring or slow moving. It is slow. I mean, like I said, there's lots of pauses, there's lots of, but John said when we were watching the other one, Memory, the other night, he said it does a good job of keeping you in this constant state of tension through the whole thing. I was still not feeling well, and so I was like falling asleep to everything else that I was watching at that time. I didn't bat an eye. I mean, I was like through the entire thing, even though it is slow moving, it keeps you at this just steady tension, like what's coming next, what's, because of these like twists that he does, these subtle twists. Okay. It's on Prime Video as well. Okay. Yes, I saw The Girlfriend. I thought that was good too. Yeah, Donna type of mother. Yeah, right. They're equally bad. I thought they were the girlfriend and the mother. I mean, they were like both dueling psychos. But yes, I thought that was good too. I love Robin Wright Penn. But I don't know if you guys caught that we watched that all her fault. We just hated it. I mean, it just completely went off the rails. We liked it at the beginning and then it just like fell off a cliff. I don't know if anybody liked it, but we just absolutely like John was like mad. I said, he goes, I can't watch the last 2 episodes. So I want to watch it because I want to see what happens. And he's like, okay, I'll sit down and watch the last one with you. He's like yelling at the screen through the whole thing because I don't know. I just thought the writing was so bad. It was like good talent wasted. Yes, I have been watching that Murder in the Family on Hulu about the Murdaugh family. I love Patricia Arquette is in it. And man, the guy playing him, I didn't really follow that case. I watched a little bit of that trial, but not that much. But that actor that plays him, Alec, is crazy good. I mean, he's insane how much he absolutely looks and acts and sounds like him. I do too, Leanne. I love talking good movies. I love Robin Wright too. She's a great actress and played that character so well. She did. I mean, yeah, she's nuts. It's so hard for me to sit still with myself. Thank you for sitting with me this morning. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Patricia Arquette is always good, isn't she? I mean, she just gets better and better with age. And she's also another one that like will just, it does not need to glamorize herself at all. The Judd series on Hulu. I don't know anything about that. Is that about Ashley and Naomi Judd? Oh, you're making bread today. Oh, tell us more about that. What kind of bread are you making? I was surprised at how well they have followed the true tragedy. So you probably know that story better than me. Yeah, I probably need to catch up on that. I also got one of you guys recommended the morning show, and that really turned around and has gotten really good. So I'm waiting for that the new one to drop on that. Yeah, she did play Jenny in Forrest Gump. And then, of course, House of Cards. That's where, yeah. May I ask you, do you think, where is that? Do you think Wendy will be arrested? I think she will, Tamara. I do. I don't know when or for what charge, but I think there are a multitude of charges that they could get her on, and I think she will. I was watching podcasts in the Murdaugh family since before it was a thing. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, because it didn't really I think the turning point, wasn't it, when he got his cousin to shoot him on that country road? I think that was the turning point, to get that on, like, the national stage because that, like, took it to another level of crazy. Yeah, and he's oh, wow. Hubs and I watched The House of Cards twice. It was so good, except for the final season. I have not seen the final season. I mean, once Frank was gone, come on, Frank Underwood. Oh, you're making ciabatta. Oh, that's my favorite bread. Ciabatta. My stomach's actually grumbling at the moment because I haven't eaten today. Oh, you had an inch of snow yesterday. We had a dusting this morning. It was beautiful. What else am I watching? I'm watching the morning show. I've been watching the Murdoch thing when that drops. I watch The Golden Bachelor, which is just embarrassing to admit because that guy is such a dud. But you get invested. You want to see what happens. But at the same time, I don't care. It's stupid. Hang on. A lawyer stated in an interview she expected Wendy to be arrested in January. I wonder why January. Oh, that sounds so good, Marta. Can I have that? Waiter, butler, Beasley, will you get it for me? He's being such a good boy. He's sleeping there next to me. He's got a super shaggy coat for the winter. So cute. I'm making my hubby homemade lasagna for his birthday. That sounds so good. Yeah, well, Golden Bachelor, that's become controversial with Gary or Jerry, or I think you say his name Gary, that he wrote a book where he just trashed the woman that he married. Um, and then she came out with an interview like countering that, but like, dude, I was not a fan of that whatsoever. Okay, Peggy, you're yeah, you're behind. You're catching the IV story. Me? I know I'm hungry too. Guess what I'm doing today? I got to tell you guys what I'm doing today. Two things. John is doing it up and back to our other house because he wants to get the chainsaw serviced and he has to go pick it up anyway. He's just always doing something, and he was going to pick it up because trees have been falling, and it's up to us to remove them to just get out the road sometimes. And so he's got a chainsaw. But anyway, he's going up and back. And I said, guess what you're going to have waiting for you when you get home? A lobster roll. There's a lobster truck that comes around here, and they are in the vicinity today. So I'm going to go over there and get us lobster rolls for dinner for when he gets back. And I'm going to put up my brother's Christmas tree today. He's got a sunroom on the back of his little place. Oh, he's here, and you're going to hear the barking here in a second because he's going to see Trisket going out. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, there he is. Trisket's looking at, she hears him. They're in love. He's going crazy. Oh my God. He's like, we got to get a play date going with them. Can you hear that? It's just it's so sad. It's just the longing. Yeah, so we were going to over Thanksgiving put up my brother's Christmas tree and decorate it, but I decided today I'm going to put it up so he has just the tree with the lights on starting this weekend, and then over Thanksgiving we'll decorate it together. But yeah, it's Mr. Beasley. So I'm going to go over there and do that and put up his tree for him. And John, my husband, he's just such a doll. He was out shopping yesterday and he found a tree skirt for my brother to put under the tree because I was thinking we had one somewhere and like we were going to have to dig for it. And he's like, I just bought him a new one. So I got to find out where that is so I can take that over and put that under the tree so that my brother can enjoy that for a long season. So I thought, yeah, Trisket is a cute name, isn't it? I have a lobster truck here as well. When I was in Tucson, I couldn't believe the amount of drive-thrus that were there. One of them was a drive-through lobster rolls. Wow, in Tucson. It might be the same because it's a national chain called Cousins. Was it Cousins? Because they're all around. I'm like, what a great business idea. And it's Maine lobster and it's good. The first time they were in our community, I kind of got everything so we could try, the lobster rolls, the quesadilla they had. They had a lobster grilled cheese. I just got like a sampling of everything. And so we decided what what was really good. And what's really the best is the lobster rolls. So I'm just craving that. And they're in the area. My stomach is growling. Cousins. Yeah, it's a national chain. I love the relationship the two Johns in your life have. My husband is so good with my brother. He was over there yesterday helping him because my brother, my brother's a very big man and he keeps blowing out his recliners. So this is a weird miracle. So I think he was embarrassed that we keep getting him these motorized recliners. And he's had 3 that have bit the dust. So so he had 2 in the sunroom and the one that he was sitting on that like the foot part stopped working. And so what he did was he drove himself to a department store. He bought one and he said he doesn't want a motorized one anymore because he knows they keep breaking. And he's over the weight limit. I'm just going to say it. So, I think the motors just can't. Anyway, so he bought a manual one. And so we went over there and he was telling us that he did this all on his own. And he really isn't supposed to do stuff like make a major purchase on his own because I handle his finances and he signed up for a credit card, which he doesn't need. And I'm like, I can get you the money to pay for that. You just have to ask me, and I'll arrange for it. I'm not the gatekeeper. He could do it himself, but I facilitate that. I just contact them and say, you need to transfer this money into his account. And then he has it available. So, but I think he was embarrassed because it's like the 3rd one that's broken and he didn't want to tell us and whatever. Well, here's the miracle. So we're over there. It's on my birthday. We're having the birthday cake and stuff like that. And so he's got the other 2 in the sunroom. So it's like, well, let's go back and see those. Cause like now we're going to have 4 in this house and we need to get rid of one. And we need to figure out which is the one we're going to get rid of and how we're going to get rid of it when the new one comes. And so we're back there and all of a sudden the other 2 in the sunroom started miraculously working. And my brother is like, he goes, John fixed them. John fixed these chairs. And John Hyam is like, no, John, I didn't. He goes, well, you must have fixed these chairs. And he just kept saying, John fixed these chairs. John Hyam did nothing. We have no idea what happened. It's like a miracle that they didn't work. So they were like stuck in the back room. You can sit on them, but the reclining part didn't work anymore. And so now we canceled the other chair and John went over there yesterday to help move them. He had his caregiver there. And so they could exchange these 2 chairs. So he now has one that is working for the moment anyway, that he sits on. He sits in the front room with his TV and stuff like that. So, but yeah, my husband went over there and, helped him with his new car, sat out with him in the new car. Oh, I didn't bring it back here, but I did have a show and tell. I found these things. I want to tell you guys, it's like air tags. You probably guys have air tags. But one of the things with my brother is that he takes off in his car and forgets his phone all the time. I track him with his phone because I have him on Find My iPhone. So I can, because my brother has a history of sort of disappearing. And so, this is a way I can keep track of him with that. But he has to bring the iPhone. And he's been leaving the house without the iPhone regularly. So guess what we got? The AirTags and put it in his glove compartment. It connects to the Find My iPhone app. So, and I told him that. I said, now you don't have to worry about bringing your iPhone because I can track you in the car. And he's so relieved. He's so happy to be watched over because he's like, oh, thank God. So you'll know where I am always. And I said, yeah, just don't touch that thing. It's just a very small thing and looks like a key ring. And just stuck it in his glove compartment. I said, just leave it there. Don't do anything with it. And he's like, oh, thank you. I'm glad that you can know, you'll know where I am. I said, then you don't have the pressure of your phone. But anyway, John Hyam went over there yesterday and spent time with that and orienting him to his car and all the bells and whistles and everything with his car. So he knows how to use everything. Yeah, I think that's what it is, Kevin. But also, maybe the chair just needed a break. Jamie, my brother's name is John, but his nickname is Alphonse. So, just me. I'm the only person that calls him Alphonse. It was a nickname my sister and I had for him. And I call him Alphonse all the time. I almost never call him John, but his name is John. And that's why I started referring to like my husband, John, my brother, John, and then when my dad was alive, my dad was a John. So, Yeah, that was a real, and I got 4 of them, you guys, for $30 on Amazon. So, husband John is frequently losing keys, so I insisted he put one in his key ring because he spends all his time looking for keys that are, like, stuck in a pocket somewhere or whatever. And so he put one on his key ring, I put one on my key ring, and we have a 4th. We're trying to figure out where we need to put that. So, yeah, it could be a loose electrical connection. We just don't know, though, how that happened because when we moved it to the back room, it was still not working. And then all of a sudden, they both started working. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just repeated use from it. And my brother's anyway. It doesn't matter. We just realized some things with my brother are just going to have to be replaced more often than not. I thought he was smart in saying he probably should just get a regular recliner that just pulls back instead of the electric one. And he doesn't use the feature that like pushes you up to standing anyway. So, and he doesn't need that. So I thought that was good planning. And so I said to him yesterday, if this one stops working, we're just going to go with that other one that you picked out. And, but let's go with this one because it's working for now. Yes, the tags on dogs. Yes, I've seen that too. I don't know if that we need it for Beasley though, because he has a chip. So, oh, you're getting sourdough starter. I want to get back into the sourdough thing too. I made so much sourdough during, like everybody else during COVID. I made crackers and so many things. I made these crostini things. Not crostini, what do they call that? It's like a pie that folds in, and I made savory and sweet ones and using my sourdough. I made all these pie crusts. I'm so hungry, you guys. I'm gonna have to eat before the Oh, we missed 11 o'clock. Shoot, I wanted to take a pause at 11. It's still in the 11s. 11, 11, 11. Well, we could do it at 11 p.m. too. Thanks for popping in, Jamie. I love sourdough too, and the problem is that you get sourdough bread, like they call it sourdough bread, and it doesn't taste like sourdough. Um, in the grocery store and stuff, it's like such a buzzkill when you get it, and it has none of that sour. Like I like it super sour. I like that really sourdough flavor. If anybody knows a good brand, because I'm constantly on the hunt for like a good, and it's that chewy texture and that sour flavor, but you don't find that always. It's been a lot easier than I thought. I was worried about having to feed the starter, but you don't have to do it every day. You keep it in the fridge and feed it when you pull it out. Hubby and I are going to see Stomp at our local theater tomorrow. Oh, 37 years. Congratulations. Stomp, I didn't know they were still touring. That's exciting. That'll get your blood pumping. That sounds like a lot of fun. Nothing like sourdough made in San Francisco. You can order, I'm not going to even try to say it, Boudin sourdough online. They ship fast. Okay, that's good. That's what I'll do then. Our local bagel place used to have sourdough bagels that had the good sourdough flavor, and they stopped making them. So bummed. Can you guys hear my stomach rumbling? All this talk of food. There's so much you can make with starter: brownies, pancakes, focaccia, bagels, pizza crust, etc. Yeah. Well, I'm going to try to make my own bagels because I'm bummed out that they stopped carrying them. I used to buy Trader Joe's white sourdough bread. However, after making my own, I don't like any unless I go to a bakery here in Arcadia. She's a chef that studied in Paris. Well, that's it. I'm just going to start making. I got to get a sourdough. I told Lillian I wanted to ask her mom to give me some sourdough starter because she's been making bagels and she's an excellent baker, is Lillian's mom. And pies. I'm not surprised. I mean, she's making all this sourdough stuff and stuff like that. So I'm going to ask her to give me some starter. Is that inappropriate? I have a great relationship with her. I'm sure she'd be happy to share with me because I want to get back into it. Well, anything else going on with you guys? I'm feeling like I want to sign off to go eat something. My brother also gave me some Rice Krispie treats that one of his caregivers made with peanut butter. And so I got that for a sweet treat. But thanks for joining me, guys. If you get a chance, check out those movies by Michel Franco and let me know what you think. Um, I mean, it's probably either you love it or you don't, type of filmmaking, but man, I'm in the love it category of that. Like, I will watch everything. He's got another one coming out this year. It's already been released in theaters. I think it's been at film festivals, called Dreams, I think. A lot of his stuff is just one word, so like Sundown, Memory. I think this, and Jessica Chastain again is in it. So it also tells me that like those actors must like working with him. I mean, it's a unique style of direction, and she's amazing. She's really good in that Memory. Jenny Benny, okay, I will get the starter. I'll ask her if she'll share some starter with me. I started using the German method, which is what someone just mentioned. All you do is add a little more flour, make it thick, and keep it in the fridge till you need to use. I use it every 3 weeks. I will look into that. I'm definitely going to watch his movies. I really like Jessica Chastain. She is always good. She has range too, doesn't she? Will you go live if and when Wendy's arrested? Tamara, I have another channel where um, you know, I'm trying to keep true crime off this channel. So, well, I'm not trying to. I am keeping true crime off this channel. So I have another channel that I cover Donna's trial and it's private. Um, so I would go live on that. And if you're not on that, send me an email and I can get you on that list. David White poems, phenomenal. Get ready. You're going to go from the profound, Julie, to just another spectrum of emotion. Let me just tell you in the story that's coming up. No need to be sorry, Tamara. That's just what's going on. It's a valid question. Oh, you're on that one. Yeah, so I will. Yes, I will over on that one. Go live if Wendy is arrested for sure. Julie, let me ask you, diagnosing psychopathy. I'm so curious about your name, and it looks like maybe there's more than one person on your channel, so you're identifying yourself as Julie is the one who's posting, because I've noticed that in your comments. And I'm curious about your channel. Well, I guess I could just go on it, right? I'm sure I subscribed to your channel when I clicked on it. But I'd be curious about what you're all about. And like I said, it looks like you have more than one people running your channel. It sounds like a channel that people that come to my channel would also be interested in. You're welcome, Kevin. Thanks for popping in. Thinking of you with the horns at Chicago concert, because you play those instruments. So any other thoughts before we sign off here and I go in search of something to eat that's not sourdough, but wishing it was? I got to revive some like rock hard bagels that I got out there. I did find these. Have you guys ever had Ethiopian food? And they have that injera bread, if I'm saying that right, that is sourdough, and it's like a crepe, but it's very sourdough flavored. That injera bread, Ethiopian food, is one of my favorites, and that's a hallmark of it. Well, I found this crackers essentially that are made out of that injera bread, and they do taste like sourdough. These crackers, John hates them because the texture, they have all these little holes in them and it like freaks him out, something about the texture, and they're like kind of curled. But that's another kind of sourdough tasting, and they're called injera crisps or something like that. They're super expensive and they're sold at this like health food store near us, but I love them. Yes, there are Amish farms or stores that sell sourdough. Well, I good question, Marta, because I went on that hunt when the bagels stopped, serving the sourdough. And I wasn't able to find anything specifically locally, but it's a good question because they do a lot of stuff with sourdough. And maybe I need to jump back on that train, I really need to do is make my own, right? But I need to have the sure thing, right? Of somebody else that's better at this than I am. So yeah, maybe I'll check the farmer's market tomorrow and do a little more of a deep dive into that and see if I've been missing something because there's a lot of bakers at the farmer's market. I just haven't seen anything that's like really sourdough specific. So, but that's a great suggestion. Yeah, and the Mennonites, there's a lot of Mennonites in the area. There's more Mennonites in this area than um, Amish, but where I'm going, oh, you guys, I'm going again next week down to Longwood Gardens to take a class. So I go through a lot of Amish territory down there, which is fantastic. Hi, Brenda. Um, Bye, Leanne. We're getting ready to sign off, Brenda. I'm sorry, but you can catch the live stream from the beginning, and um, I'm sure that when I sign off, the chat eventually shows up, so you can follow the chat as well. I hope people got over here from the other chat. I think going forward, now that I know that it splits it, like I don't want that. It's kind of a glitch, isn't it, in that system that they don't merge them together. But I don't think I'll do that again, simply for the way that it splits the chat. Gia, you're here now. You're in this one. So, I mean, to the people who have been chatting and not acknowledged, it's because I haven't been able to see you because I'm not on the other screen. So going forward, I'll do it just the old-fashioned way where everybody's in the same chat and nobody's being left behind. I'm sure you're chatting amongst yourselves over there in the other one. And I don't know if my count here is both. I don't know. I should do a little more research on that or just stick with the old-fashioned way of doing StreamYard. I'm not really that inclined to learning new things about it at this point. The Sourdough Murder Mystery featuring an Amish man as the main detective. Is that a movie or a series? That sounds good. An Amish detective. That'd be interesting. Yeah, down where I'm going, my drive down there next week is going to be very buggies, lots of buggies, very, very buggy filled, which is always fun to see the buggies on the roads. So yeah, there's a lot. That's the major Amish country is between here and where I'm going. So maybe I'll go on a sourdough hunt down there. Are you making that up, Kevin? About the sourdough murder mystery? Well, if you are, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. All right, guys, I gotta go find something to eat. All this talk of sourdough has got me hungry, and lasagna and lobster rolls. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for laughing with me. Thanks for staying connected. And if you get, like I said, if you see any of those movies, let me know what you think. I think if you like pensive, sort of long drawn out, it doesn't sound very appealing, but it is to me. And I'm going to stay on my quest of watching his films and let you know what are good ones. All right. Glad you caught it too, Jenny. I'm going to give my doggy a bath today too. It's been a while now that he's got his winter coat on. And I will catch up with you guys another time. All right. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, everybody out there. Stay warm and see you next time.